All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Pin High Media. This week, we got a new year of golf. 2022 season begins with the Sentry Tournament of Champions. We got a new skins format for that. We're going to talk a little bit about how the Pin High Podcast is moving to a different platform for 2022 away from Golficity. And we're also just going to talk about the year ahead of us. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
All right off the bat, let's get inside the ropes. So, first off, you might have noticed we are now under a different network, podcast network, I guess you could call it. We're under Pin High Media. It's ourselves, obviously, and we're stepping away from Golficity, and I feel like we should probably thank Frank and Mike for, all that they did for us now, like what, over 2 years ago now,
yeah.
Basically 2.5 years ago. If you look at the first podcast we ever did, we all look like absolute children. And the fact that Mike and Frank gave those absolute children a platform to talk about golf and talk about, betting and talk about anything we really wanted to talk about, which led to us, interviewing Tiger Woods' caddy, for God's sakes. We definitely got to tip our cap to them and thank them for everything they've done for us,
Yeah, absolutely. Especially behind the scenes as well. I mean, they've helped us out, with the YouTube channel, with, how to post things, how to upload, how to, post a blog, all that stuff. I mean, very helpful behind the scenes, great role models for us. And I mean, yeah, wish them all the best in the future. I mean, Golficity to the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've grown their Instagram following by 100% in the past year. I think it was 35 and now it's 70,000. So, I mean, it all started. I was literally.
And we definitely went to the studio too, did some shows there. Studio is awesome. It's probably been changed a lot since we've been there. We went there a year and a half ago, probably too.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah,
a long time ago. But no, everything that did for us was nothing but great things, and we're still hoping to have we'll still have a great relationship with them.
Yeah, and I could see, sometime in the future doing some sort of collaboration, depending on, our schedules and their schedules. I'm sure they're busy and we'll be busy too. But again, it's not like there was any bad blood. It was just we decided to split off, kind of do our own thing with Pin High Media, kind of branch out. Doesn't even have to only be golf. The Pin High Podcast will still be the exact same as always, and this doesn't really affect anybody who listens at all. So we just thought we owed everyone an explanation for why we're splitting off.
Right, and just down the road, I mean, it gives us a little bit more flexibility to do things when we want to do things. Obviously this week, you guys heard Monday's episode. We had an interview on Monday. This episode is going to be more of a, normal Pin High podcast, where we give bets and stuff like that. So preview tournaments. So it just gives us a little bit more flexibility to do a couple different podcasts without having to hit a deadline of Wednesday every week or, something like that. And then also gives us flexibility.
Which was also inconvenient for them.
Yeah.
For us.
And it also gives us flexibility to do some other cool stuff that we want to do. So.
Exactly. I don't think we need to go into it much further than that, but just another thank you to Frank and Mike from Golficity. So, on that note, PGA Tour golf is officially back. I'd say this is the week, Sentry Tournament of Champions, where I finally get excited about golf again because it ended at the Ryder Cup. Was the last time I really cared. I mean, maybe the Hero World Challenge was pretty entertaining actually, but this is where the real golf season starts.
Definitely, and for me specifically, I know, you guys are Giants fans too, but Bears suck. They're out of the playoffs. I'm not as interested in the NFL anymore. The Packers are going to win it all. Yeah. I hate them too. And then it's just seeing the golf come back. There's no college football left. College basketball is just getting started. And then Sentry Tournament of Champions, primetime golf at night. There's nothing better than that, sitting in your room when it's 20 degrees outside and you're watching guys in Hawaii and it's 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and you're watching a playoff between like Xander and Patrick Reed. It's almost like we mentioned it before. It's almost one of the most anticipated tournaments for us, just because of, like Pat said, there's no Ryder Cup, and then you go from that to nothing, almost nothing for a couple months, and then you go to this.
And on top of that, we're going to see all new equipment this week as well.
Yeah,
we're going to see the Stealth.
Tons of equipment.
We're going to see the Rogue, probably from Callaway. I think Puma might have a new driver. There's going to be new irons out potentially. I'm not sure.
Voki Sm9s are out this week.
Exactly. And there's going to be some other stuff that changes. There's some rule changes for 2022 if we want to get into that a little bit, Jeek.
Yeah, so the first big one, I feel like it got overshown by the second rule that we'll introduce, but the driver limit down to 46 inches. I mean, doesn't really affect most golfers. I think most golfers use a driver lower than that, like 44 inches or so. But 48 inches used to be the maximum length of a driver. It's now 46. I mean, Phil Mickelson, he won the PGA with a 47.6 inch driver, so he has to change his driver this year. So they're moving it down. They're trying not to make them hit it as far as they can. I don't know why, but probably just to limit the golf courses. It's hard to make a golf course longer. You could just make a pro hit it less far.
And from what I can tell, I'm looking at a Golf Digest article right now because I was curious. It says from going from 48, if someone was at 48 inches to 46 inches, it's about a 6 yard gain or loss in carry distance, and 46 to 44 is about maybe a 10 yard distance loss. So again, it's 6 yards. I mean, who knows how much of we might go through the whole year and not even realize this has this effect on it, unless someone didn't fly a bunker at a crucial point, maybe, and like Phil doesn't fly a bunker by 5 yards in a tournament or something like that. I don't know how. It doesn't seem like it'll affect the game too much. Just it'll be something to keep in the back of your head, and might be mentioned every now and then.
His bombs won't be as high or tasty.
Right. I mean, the only thing is I
exactly.
think the Golf Digest article that you mentioned also said that I think it was 6% or maybe less than 6% of the pros use a driver that's longer than 46 inches. So it's not going to affect most people.
No,
I'm sure.
Not at all. Not at all. And then there's also green books are changed as well. We've talked a little bit about this in past episodes, but players must use committee approved yardage books. I think this is apparently going to pace of play might be a little bit better because of this. I know Bryson's yardage book is probably crazy. He's literally walking out shots from 86 yards. So I mean, again, viewing wise, that's not going to change anything.
No, and I don't think it's going to affect anything on the course.
Yeah.
Again, too much. But It will be something that people, I guarantee you, on Thursday or Friday, if we're watching Bryson, it'll be mentioned that maybe he's looking down at his yardage book or something, or maybe he's not looking at it on the green as much, and he's it'll be mentioned for sure, especially these first couple tournaments, Sentry like this.
Yeah, and then the last rule doesn't really totally apply to the PGA Tour, kind of more outside the PGA Tour, but changes to the amateur status. I mean, previously amateurs weren't allowed to make any money at all, but obviously the college introduced the NIL and college athletes are making money, and they didn't want to prevent college golfers from signing these NIL deals and losing their amateur status. So they just tweaked the rule to kind of allow amateurs to make some kind of money.
So I wonder, because I know they have for Roback, shout out Roback, they have Roback U for college athletes NIL deals, most notably with JT Daniels, the Georgia quarterback. But in golf, I wonder if they could snag up some guys in college and keep them on for their pro careers.
The only thing about that is the colleges all have their own equipment deals. So if you go to Oklahoma State, I don't know what it is, probably Nike. Nike's probably doing all of the college. They have to wear all the college stuff. So
I don't necessarily
think they
mean
could-
on course.
yeah, but I think they could kind of scoop up some people that maybe like in Europe or people who don't go to college. And
What do college players wear when they're like if they're playing a regular if they're some college kid qualified for I don't know he would say it was in the Sony just for example what he and I know he has the bag of his school like I don't remember what they wear their college stuff
They wear their school
and like
stuff.
I know if they're
something
required
plain.
to wear that I know
They don't
they're
have
required to wear that
They don't have to, but most of them just wear their school stuff or something plain. Like
Okay.
we even saw it in the PNC. Like obviously John Daly II, he wore all Arkansas stuff the entire time. Even when his dad wasn't wearing the Arkansas stuff, he was wearing Arkansas gear. So it's kind of how it is.
I kind of get Pat's point though of saying like if there's a guy who could get like like obviously he wouldn't wear it in a college tournament, but if he's playing an amateur tournament, like maybe he's playing the USAM after he finished graduating and he hasn't turned pro yet or something like that. He can get or like he's not playing in the summer or something where Roback can say, hey, we have this Texas shirt. Like you went to the University of Texas, like just wear this on the course when you play. And like, well, I mean, who knows? I don't know what the rules are. I don't know. Any of us know really what the rules are in terms of what they can and can't wear. I guess we'll see. I guess.
Yeah, it's something interesting to see. I think there was something about an amateur like women's player that received like an Apple Watch or something like that, and like she was under investigation. Like obviously that's not something they would investigate for anymore.
No.
Yeah,
And that's ridiculous. I'm glad the NCAA has gotten away from that. And not that they didn't try to fight it with all their might, but now they can no longer keep doing that. Mark Emmert and his regime. But anyway, we talked about it a little bit, but there's going to be new equipment around tour. Like we said, TaylorMade driver, the Stealth. We saw Tiger using it. Was anybody else using it at the PNC? I know Charlie was still rocking the Sim.
I don't think so, but the thing about it coming to tour this week is it's going to start coming to the stores around us. So like if you go to like PGA Superstore or a Golf Galaxy or something like that, you might see the new stuff, and like that's kind of the appeal to us. You get to see the new drivers and stuff like that. So
Hell yeah.
I saw TaylorMade. Yeah, I saw TaylorMade posted a video. I think it was yesterday. Like kind of like just teasing it a little bit, like literally like a 10-second video, and it was just the red and black kind of stealth technology or whatever it is. I don't know what the terminology is, but it was people were looking at that. Riggs was posting about it, stuff like that.
The stealth is interesting. It's like a weird shape. It doesn't really look that attractive, to be honest. Like the face is like red and like black, like little circles. It's kind of weird looking, but I don't know. They're saying that it could go further, but I'm wondering how much of that is the truth.
Yeah, and my friend Bennett sent me. He works at Oak Hills. He sent me a picture of this box that said like no images posted to social media until like January 2022, and it was a box with Callaway Rogue stuff in it.
Damn.
So the Callaway Rogue honestly doesn't look too attractive either.
Yeah, I don't know why they're moving away from like the good looking drivers. I don't know. It's just
this could be a big year for somebody to I don't know, like a Puma or I mean a Cobra or a
Titleist even.
Titleist. I mean, Titleist is always going to have to.
Yeah, they're always have that. You're right. Puma or
someone like
Cobra.
that to emerge.
I mean,
like
Ping. I don't know if Ping's going to come out with a new driver this year. They're usually like every other year they come out with a driver, but Ping always has like a steady driver.
Srixon.
Koepka is playing Srixon now. Like, who knows? They could have like the hot new driver just because of him playing this week. Like, they might have like this sweet new driver.
I mean, on the episode this week, on Monday with Marty Hackle, he talked about the new Srixon irons and how.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean the PGA show's coming up. That's like a big time for equipment, and I mean Golf Digest usually releases their hot list every year, so it will be interesting to see what's on that list this year. Will there be companies that kind of, make their way up the board this year?
Yeah. And then the Voki Sm9 wedges. I haven't seen them. Is there any images out there on the internet? I'm looking
There
right
is
now.
images.
Do they really look that different?
It's hard to make a wedge look very different. I'm sure they're
Yeah.
gonna say something about like
What's the bounce
balance,
technology?
like the center of gravity or whatever on the club that makes it more forgiving to hit or something. They don't really look that different.
Oh,
But
it's fine.
they don't change every year really that much.
Looking at it now, it's like they changed a little bit, but I'm sure the technology, like you said, the technology is just a little bit better. And then like the SM8 still looks. I mean, looking at a picture of the SM8 now, it still looks really clean and
Yeah, my 56
nice.
and SM8, it's a great club. I mean,
Yeah.
always looks. I mean, the Vokies always look nice. So, but they don't change that much. They just kind of like tweak things to make it better. But they're already kind of the leader in wedges, I would say. So,
I'm not a big fan of Titleist wedges, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I kind of like Callaways, but like that's just preference. I'm sure there's some people that really love the wedges. So
I've loved the Mizuno 60 degree that I got. I'd be interested to see how the Taylormade wedges perform.
yeah, the mill grilled wedges.
Yeah, they have this like square like grooves almost. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
weird.
So if you're an equipment junkie, this is a good time.
Yeah.
to be
New
there.
golf balls too.
Yeah,
I wonder what the design is on Pro V1s.
I have
Trevor's
this new
got
golf
golf
ball.
balls.
Got it for Christmas. South Carolina golf balls.
Ooh.
The new. I think it is the new TB5X or the new version this year. I'm not sure because I never played TB5X, but I mean it looks different than what my dad used to have in the past because he used to play those. So, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to playing them just because when it gets warmer, but because I'm a Pro V1X guy, so I'm looking forward to seeing what
Different
feels
golf ball.
different.
Yeah.
I got the Max Fly Tour balls. They're new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hell
Got a
yeah.
48 pack of those from Santa.
You'll never run out.
Maybe not.
Santa knows exactly what type of golfer you are. So
Yes, Santa does know that.
God.
And then some storyline heading into this weekend. Phil Mickelson, he's back here for the first time in 21 years, and that is a crazy number for someone of his caliber to not play in this tournament.
yeah, I don't know why he hasn't really wanted to make the trip. I mean, I guess just part of the off season, and these tour pros kind of have their schedules set every year. They know which tournaments they want to play, and he just never really wanted to play this tournament. So good to see him back.
Yeah, well, Rory usually doesn't play this tournament either, and he's not playing this year. He's making his debut, I saw, at the Farmers Insurance. And a lot of guys, in the past, used to do that. But then I feel like they realized, why not take a vacation to Hawaii?
Yeah, why don't you I'm surprised more guys that win don't, especially the big guys like Rory, and Phil even. I guess Phil hasn't won in a little bit, but just come to Hawaii, play the Sentry. It's a big, people will watch that tournament. People will get excited for it. And then you don't have to play in the Sony. Just take the week off and take a vacation in Hawaii. Just have, I don't know why I'm sure people do that. I'm sure Justin Thomas, he's won the Sony, but big guys will do that. I'm sure Koepka's not playing next week in the Sony. And I'm sure they'll do that. They'll take a vacation, then they'll come back and go to the Farmers.
The Sony is such a
sense.
come down.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but at least it has a cool W tree behind one of the holes.
It's
Yeah.
still Hawaii. It's still Hawaii.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who won it last year?
Cam
Smith.
Smith.
Cam Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Brendan Steele was
I think it was Cam Smith.
down the stretch.
I think I picked Brendan Steele or something like that. Or he choked on 18, didn't he?
He did.
didn't
He
choke.
choked the whole day. He was leading.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Got to
I
bring
think
the
Ryan
short game
Palmer
for
might
these
have won it
tournaments.
before. Yeah. But anyway, we can get into our new skins format if we want to. But should we talk about Rowback first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm wearing the sweatshirt. Trevor's wearing the sweatshirt. I have a hat
Mhm.
on as well. I mean, the Rowback stuff, Santa knew that we like Rowback. So the hoodies are amazing. The hats are great quality. The polos are great quality. I mean, what else can I really say?
The only reason I'm not wearing mine right now is because it's in the wash.
Yeah,
Or I have
you've
two now.
been wearing it for,
But I was
for
wearing-
3 days straight, right?
You wore it yesterday.
I did wear it yesterday when we were recording the first part of the Monday podcast, but I did wear the hat to the gym today. So I'm always repping Roback in some way.
And whenever I go to the gym, I always wear my Roback hat. Is so like disgusting now. It's just like covered in sweat, I'm sure. And that's my new like. I still wear it. I wear it all the time. I wear it as my gym
I have
hat.
3 hats now, 3 Roback hats. I got this like
Here's-
one,
they're nice.
a black one, and then the gray one.
Yeah, I have the peach colored one. I have the black one. I have one of the snapbacks that says Roback across it. Pretty cool.
Those are
one
cool.
for like if you're like going like skiing or like going to the beach. I feel like it's a nice like outdoor hat. And then here's an endorsement for the hats. They literally like I spent a full summer wearing it every single day, sweating so much at working at Silver Spring, and it lasted the whole summer before it really I sweated out of it eventually after like 2 years. But great performance too.
Yeah. So what do you got to do if you want to get 15% off?
You got to go to the link in our bio on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any of those. It's also, I think, in the description of the podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you use that link, add anything to your cart, no promo code needed, you'll get 15% off if it's your first time using the link. So go ahead and do that. Help the boys out, but also help yourself out with a nice Roback item. So skins this year, it's different. I just want to congratulate Jeek on winning last year.
Thank you. Thank you. Am
I
I supposed to be collecting from you guys at some point?
Oh, do we bet like $1? Is that what we bet, or what do we? Or we did every skin was $1 or something like that.
Did we?
We
kind of abandoned that at the end.
We
I
did
wouldn't-
kind of abandon it a little bit.
I was
but-
going to say, there's no chance I would have been betting plus 700.
No, you would not. You would not. If there's actual money involved.
we'll discuss that off the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, our format this time kind of gives people more of a chance down the stretch because we're doing 5 units to bet on anything you want. It can be, you could bet on something minus 200 if you want, and you can bet all 5 units and you get 2.5 units for the week if it won. Could do that. I mean, is anyone ever going to do that? Probably not. Seems
Yeah,
kinda dumb.
this is gonna look terrible down the road when I'm down like 90 units at the end of skins.
Oh yeah. It'll be coming down. It'll be December. It'll be late December. We'll be betting on the father son, and I'll be down. We'll all be down over 100 units, and it'll be like, or we'll be split. Like someone's up like 50, someone's down 50, and someone's down 100, and I'll be throwing out. All right, Charlie Woods to hit a hole in one plus 25,000.
on the third hole.
Exactly.
Like-
So you could realistically put like, say you're down like 100 units at the end of the year, you could put $5 on someone at like, or 5 units down on someone on like 20 to 1, and you gain all those back.
Yeah, so this might take a few weeks to strategize, I think, just like what the best plan to action is. Because like obviously if you go in and you put in 5 winner bets, like you might hit one and you might get a lot of like units for hitting one of those winner bets, but you could also lose all 5 of them and be down 5 skins, like, or 5 units to start. So
exactly.
We'll see.
So before we get into that, we'll give our cards. We'll go through it real quick. We don't really need to get this year. We're not going to like give you the whole rundown on it all. I feel like that was kind of repetitive after a while.
Yeah,
but
it's the same every year.
We'll give you the course preview.
Yeah, I mean, the course preview won't be as in-depth as it was last year because it's going to be the same thing every year. But Sentry Tournament of Champions, Kapalua Plantation course, I mean, it's a par 73. It's pretty long, 75, 96, but, you know, lots of elevation, uphill, downhill. You know, this 18th signature hole, a 680-yard par 5. Pretty
Love that hole.
Pretty long and scenic, great hole to finish on.
It's on the Pin High podcast course.
It is on the Pin High podcast course. Long hole, but again, elevation doesn't really matter. And I would just say, look at the ball striking this week as well as a short game. I think a lot of people come up short on a lot of the holes, and short game's important at these 2 courses the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I definitely I did some research, and accuracy off the tee doesn't mean squat.
Yeah,
you see that 18th hole you could hit it anywhere you want to and be fine. Like it seems the elevation is really cool, and you're right. Like you see, there's a lot of holes where I feel like someone's 50 yards below the green. They have to hit like a nippy little like chip that lands in a particular like plateau. It's there are some cool shots around. Obviously, the scenery will be awesome too, but the shots you have to hit are really cool.
Yeah, as for a viewing standpoint, I love this golf course.
Yeah, it's an awesome golf course.
Great to watch. There's that par 4 where Bryson drove it last year when people were on the green. Dustin Johnson obviously had one of the best drives of all time, putting it to a couple inches, an inch, like not even a couple inches, an inch to the hole on the par 4. But so Jeek's gonna have the honors on skins.
Yeah.
We're still gonna call it skins.
We'll
I guess.
call it skins.
Mm-hmm.
It's still
Then Trevor, then me, because I came in last place.
Yeah. So
I'm looking to switch it up.
I'll start off 2022, hopefully kind of hot. Where should we start? I guess I'll start with my winner bet. I like Patrick Cantlay this week. 1 unit to win 14 units. He's plus 1,400. I don't know. I just he came out on top last year in the FedEx Cup, and I just kind of think he's going to stay hot. He plays pretty well in these type of fields where there's a lot of good players. Kind of like a gut pick, not really much stats behind it. I just like Patrick Cantlay this week. And then another Patrick I like this week, Patrick Reed, top 10. I have 1 unit to win 1.9 units plus 190. Like we said, short game. Patrick Reed, great short game. A lot of good value on him this week. Another thing, I'm going to take him in a matchup against Mark Leishman. I think he's minus 122. I'll put 2 units on that. I just think he'll outlast Mark Leishman this week. And then I'll take last year's winner in a top 10. I'll take Harris English top 10 plus 220. Love the value there. I put a unit on that to win 2.2 units, and that will round out my 5 units.
All right. So I can't start the new year without just going all in on my boy, Xander Schauffele. So I have him to win plus 1,200, 1 unit to win 12 units. Top 10, 1 unit to win 0.95 units. I had that mixed up. Top 5, top 10. And top 5, 1 unit to win 2.3 units on the year. He's won at the Sentry before. He hasn't finished worse than 22nd. He finished, was it last year? A couple years ago, he finished second in a playoff. He's dominated this tournament. He's always played well. I think top 5, top 10 is a pretty safe bet. I can definitely see him winning. Then I have another winner, Bryson to win 1 unit to win 12 units. Again, short. He hits the ball a mile. Putting is unbelievable. We'll see how the new green books work out. I forgot about that. And then Sung J M, top Asian, 1 unit to win 1.35 units at plus 135. All he has to do is beat Hideki. I forget who else. It's
Kyung-Hoon Lee and Siwoo Kim.
Yeah. So it's all he has to do is he has to win one. He has to beat one of those. He has to beat all 3 of those guys, and that's a.
He finishes in the top 5. He'll win that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he's still one of the most underrated golfers, I feel like, on tour. Like, he's still an unbelievable talent.
Mm-hmm. So I might have to double check these odds because my first one, I guess I'll go with Patrick Reed top 10 is the same as Jeek. Mine was plus 150 on the, we use different sites, so we're gonna have to use the same site.
We'll have to align there.
So I guess plus 190. I got 1 unit on that. I also have Bryson DeChambeau outright plus 1,200. I got 0.5 units to win 6 units on that. I think Bryson, he played pretty well at the Hero, and I feel like he's going to continue that here. His length really helps him, and I think he's going to play well here. Victor Hovland, I got him as well. I think it's going to be a big year for Victor Hovland. I got 0.5 units to win 6 units plus 1,200. I got Sung J M, not top Asian, but top 10 plus 130. Got 1 unit on that. Justin Thomas, top 5 plus 160. I got 1 unit on that. I think Justin Thomas has a very good chance of winning. I didn't want to really put it on him to win because I didn't think the value was good enough. It was like plus 850. It's kind of, him
Mm-hmm.
He's at that. John Rahm's at like plus 600. I feel like that's just like not worth betting. And then I got Sam Burns, top 10 one unit plus 125. And I think, again, Sam Burns is another guy.
Underrated.
I think he's another guy like Harris English last year. I think Sam Burns could come out and play really well here this year as well. I will double check those odds to realign them with everyone else. So let's get in the clubhouse on that note, and let's just look forward to the year of 2022 and make some bold predictions.
I don't know. We did a couple bold predictions, I think, like a while ago. I don't really remember what they are. This is kind of
It doesn't have to be bold
off the top of my
predictions, but,
head.
like,
Just
Yeah.
just
a take.
just predictions.
I mean,
All
I
right,
think-
do we want to go? We can even go through like the majors and just say, all right, who's gonna win this major, and then if
We don't have to do that
It's
as much
tough.
as just like who's
Yeah.
going to win a major. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like I think one guy like that I think, or like two that I see, one or maybe both, but one of Sam Burns or Victor Hovland. I
Yeah,
feel like
I
cracks
completely
this year.
agree.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
bet they win-
Victor
I bet
Hovland
they
for
win
the
the-
Open.
Yeah. The
Can't
Open.
win in America, so.
True.
Well, we know Rory is gonna win the Masters. That's guaranteed.
Well, yes, I heard that
Yeah,
that was already
that's
locked
a
in
pin
when
high
I,
Yeah.
guarantee.
when I put that yellow towel in his green X8, I believe
Yeah.
it was. That yellow towel in the green X8. Yeah. That really locked him in to win the Masters. I mean,
Yeah, I think
guaranteed.
another person in that tier is also Scotty Scheffler. I think he's like kind of knocking on the door. I think this year might be a big step for him as well.
Agreed.
I can see even Sung J M or Abe Answer winning the major, kind of grinding one out. Like I can see Abe Answer going to the U.S. Open and hitting just every fairway and every green and making par in every single hole one round and winning the whole thing. I don't know. And Sung J M, I mean, he's right on the doorstep as well. I could see him winning this week, and I could see him winning at the U.S. Open with his ball striking at the fourth PGA.
I've got an interesting take for you. I know I just picked him to win this week, but this tournament's a little bit different. It's a shortened field, no cut event, different course, like elevation, all that. What if Bryson DeChambeau takes a little step back this year? Goes through some struggles with the wedges. The driving isn't as good as it should be, as it could be. You never know. I feel like with how volatile his game is, you could see him take a step back and go through a slump.
I mean, we've seen it before too. Like he's played like very bad in tournaments before, which is kind of crazy to see sometimes. There's the highs and the lows of Bryson. I mean, you could be right. This could be a year of the lows, but I mean, it could also be another year of the highs, and he could
exactly
be amazing.
So it's just obviously don't come back at me when he like wins a tournament and be like you're dumb. It's like no, I mean, like you just said, it could be a year of highs, it could be a year of lows, but it could be like a step back for Bryson this year. You never know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and
Hope he proves me wrong.
there is one rookie I want to mention. I think I mentioned it on the bold predictions whenever we did that. Cameron Young. I think Cameron Young is a guy to watch out for this year. I think he's gonna have a pretty good year. So watch out.
You did mention that. You're right. My last thing. Who do you think's be number one golfer at the end of 2022?
Colin Morikawa.
Colin Morikawa. I think that's a
that's not
pretty
that
safe
bold.
bet. Yeah.
I actually think that John Rahm's gonna hold on to it at the end of the year. I think he'll lose it at some point, but I think at the end of the year he'll get it back.
I'm gonna go bold, and I'm gonna say Rory McIlroy takes the year by storm. I could see him winning two majors. He's guaranteed to win the Masters, and then I could see him winning. I could see him winning the Open, or he's won the PGA. Where's the PGA again this year? Is it Southern Hills?
Southern Hills.
Okay. I mean, who knows? We don't know about that course too much, but they're playing at St. Andrews, which he's played at. I don't know what he finished there. The Country Club. Looking forward to the Country Club. Hopefully, I'll be able to go to that. I would love to do that. And then I don't know. I could see Rory winning two majors. He kind of took a step after the whole Ryder Cup thing, and maybe found out what makes him tick again, and goes out there and takes the year by storm.
So, not really a hot take, but Will Zalatoris, is he gonna get on the board and get a PGA Tour win finally? Probably. You'd have to imagine.
Yeah, one of those off weeks. I think he does need to focus on his putting. I'm
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure he's like knows that at this point. But
Yeah.
such a good ball striker, not a good putter. So We'll see.
And it'll be interesting to see if he takes a step forward or a step back, because like obviously he came on the scene hot.
Yeah, and I think he'll compete at the Masters again. That's a perfect course for him to play. Just irons and ball striking galore. I think he'll get a win. It might be one of the like the 3M Open or an off week kind of tournament. Like who knows? Maybe even the Puerto Rico Open. I hope not, but something of that nature where he's kind of flies under the radar, and then we'll see him at the Sentry Tournament of Champions 2023.
Yeah, maybe we'll finally get to see him in WGCs this year because he deserved the play in them last year and wasn't eligible.
God, I hope that Corey Connors wins the Masters. That would just be awesome. I think I'd rather him win the Masters than Jordan Spieth potentially.
No,
it'd just be so funny.
I don't know about that.
No, fair enough. Probably not.
Seeing the top Rory or Jordan Spieth, a Rory and Jordan Spieth duel to win the Masters would be my absolute dream. That would be unbelievable.
And Corey Connors a close third.
Yeah, Corey Connors, he makes a charge on Sunday.
I would love.
We should get him on the podcast. I feel like that's
Corey Connors. I would love that. Any other takes out there? Comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year. You could say Rory for that.
You could say that.
You could just say Tiger if he plays in like one event.
True.
Honestly.
Yeah. What does Tiger do in 2022? Does he notch a top 20 in a tournament?
I don't know about top 20, but I think he'll play in 3 or 4 tournaments.
I think he'll make the. I don't know. I think he makes the top 20 in. I'll say one tournament.
Are we like assuming just like say he plays in 4 tournaments? How many cuts is he making?
1. Yeah, I'd say like 1 probably.
Okay.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was like in the Open too if he made the
cut at St. Andrews. That's where he'd make the cut. He knows that course probably better than anyone out there, to be honest. So we'll see.
Fair enough. And then one last guy I want to bring up, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Does he continue like the momentum that he brought? Like he was at this time last year, in our minds, he was dead.
His
career was dead. We're still hoping it would come back, but no, it's fully alive again. Does he continue that and bring himself fully back and win a major?
A major is tough. I think he'll compete. He'll compete in the majors, definitely. I think he'll compete in at least 2 of them, where you'll see him top 10 or like close to the final group, or maybe even in the final group. I don't know if he'll win one, but I don't think he's going to take a step back from last year. I think he's going to continue the hot-ish form. I think he's figured something out with his swing, and he's going to run with that.
I hope so.
Actually, there is one more person I do want to mention, Ricky Fowler. What do we think about him this year?
Oh yeah, he's the Jordan Spieth of this year.
I think he's gonna have a Jordan Spieth like year.
Resurgence?
No, I don't.
Resurgence?
What'd you say?
I would say resurgence. He showed up at the CJ Cup, played well that weekend. I don't
think that he's gonna have a Jordan Spieth because Jordan Spieth was literally like
dead.
No, but so was Ricky. I think Jordan Spieth was completely on fire for a long time.
Right.
He was putting up like T2s and solo second finishes, and he finally won the Valero. He won.
Yeah, he won the
Valero Texas Open. I don't know if I see Ricky Fowler like going scorched earth and like just putting up those kind of numbers, but is he going to make the FedEx Cup top 125? I do think so. I think he's going to compete in more tournaments. We'll see.
I'll go bold.
He's gonna actually qualify for all the majors.
Hopefully. I'll go bold. I think he's gonna win this year, and I'm gonna pick the tournament he's gonna win at. I think it's gonna be the WGC. I think he's gonna win not the WGC, the Waste Management Open. Sorry, not the WGC.
Oh yeah.
I think he's gonna win the Waste Management Open this year.
I'll say he wins. I think he's gonna win 1 tournament. And going back to Jordan Spieth, I say Jordan Spieth wins 3 tournaments this year. Whether that one's a major or not, we don't know. He could. Obviously, he's great at the Masters. U.S. Open is always a threat just because he grinds. And he was like a shot outside the playoff at the Open. at St. Andrews when he won the first two majors of the year that year. So he could. I don't know. We could be looking at Jordan Spieth winning a major, winning two majors. Who knows? I would hope so. But
he definitely puts himself in the position.
Yeah, definitely does. Yeah. And he played great at the Open last year too. I think he's ready to take another step back to where he was, however many years ago that was.
Right. Okay. Anybody else? Tony Finau?
Oh, will he win on Sunday?
I think he's too.
Right, because his last win he won on a Monday, right?
Yeah.
He's
Where
too
was
good
that?
not to. I feel
Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he won in the U.S., but he didn't win on Sunday.
He's too good not to. I feel like he'll have to win a tournament at some point. I mean, I don't know what his schedule is going to be like this year.
He could
but
win the Waste
have
Management.
to win a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he almost won it before Webb cucked him out of it.
Yeah, I picked him that week, and then before I realized there was the curse and all. But I picked him that week, and he should have won. But we'll see.
I hope Hovland or Finau wins this week, and we say it's not in like the actual
mainland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like for Hovland especially, it's like he's never won he's won the Mayakoba, he's won in Albany, like he hasn't won in the U.S. still, and Finau hasn't won on Sunday in the U.S. So
well, in 2022, we hope to
Break
put the Puerto Rico curse not to bed, but we hope to continue the loopholes that we have created for it.
Pretty soon it'll be like they haven't won a tournament in the states of Wyoming, Florida, Georgia, and all the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited for this stretch of tournaments. Obviously, the Sony Open isn't, like we said, is a little bit of a come down from all the excitement of this week, but it's still a great tournament. There'll still be good players in it. And then we got a really good stretch of tournaments after that. So looking forward to that and enjoy the Kapalua field this week.